Welcome back to True Geordie Extra. It's another week, load of fucking fights happening in it. So yeah, boy, that's the talk about it. I've just came from the boxing gym. That's why my face looks rather red. No fucking insults, all right? Logan Paul boxed 4 men at the same time. Not literally, one after the other, but that wouldn't have made quite as good a YouTube title. Fair play to Logan. Apparently this family, 4 brothers, one of them's an athlete. Someone said they're kind of like the men version of the Kardashians. I mean, Kim's kind of an athlete. Some of the things she could do are probably quite athletic.
Bro, you guys are fucking huge. Like, chill, daddy, chill.
You got too much muscle. Look at him. He's like...
I mean, that doesn't look threatening, does it? All right, so Logan's wearing headgear, so he's at least showing a certain level of respect. Maybe we'll say enough to get an idea of how training's going. Right, immediately, Logan, hands down, playing around, no respect. This isn't serious. He's not taking it seriously. However, what you do in any sport, even non-serious ones, will give away some of your habits. And one thing Logan does do is he drops his hands a lot, generally. I love this kid, Logan, and I know he's playing around here, but there's a few little mistakes I'm saying, which, when he's throwing here, he's on his tiptoes and he's missing by quite a distance there. His left hand's down. I mean, literally, his whole body is completely out of place here, and you can do that when you're not in danger, but really what you don't want to do is give this novice, this guy who doesn't do this, the opportunity to make you look silly. And if he just pops that right hand right in his face at that moment, which, you can freeze frame any fight and show vulnerabilities, but Logan is he's really left himself as open as humanly fucking possible here, and he's moving in a little short right hand now, and that is going to make him look daft. So that's a little worrying, because even against a guy who's shite, you still don't want to give him easy shots to hurt you. So Logan's already started to move here, and this guy is showing zero response. As this left foot comes in, it's just a little lamb to the slaughter. Boom! And Logan connects right on the side of the head. No defense at all from the other guy. Took it well. Didn't take that one so well. Even he's like, damn girl. That whole hand gesture is hilarious. So he goes to throw back, loads up. Logan reads it like, a children's book. And as you can see here, he's going to move to his left. And the guy literally, he's like, where are you, Logan? Logan looking back like... But this is the thing, though. This is what should happen when you're a boxer who has trained for a few years now, and you're in there with guys who don't have a fucking clue what they're doing. It isn't impressive, but it is funny. And this is the thing, Logan's really hitting him as hard as he can now. Those noises that Logan's making, he's trying to put a beating on him.
This is stupid.
Yeah, it is stupid. This is dumb, but I get why they're doing it. It's for a video, it's for a laugh. But really, you wouldn't normally do this against a guy who has no idea what the fuck he's doing, unless he understands that this is for a laugh, for a video. Decent head movement from Logan. Nice body shot. So Logan's just about to launch this attack, and as you can see, both of his hands are by his waist. Even against someone who doesn't know shit, I don't rate coming into an attack and doing that. It worries me, because it's a habit, and even if you're doing it against these guys, those habits should be out of his system 3 years down the line. This should not be happening. So the guy kind of connects. Logan gets his left hand around the back of his head, kind of like the way he did the KSI. He should know not to do that by now, but it is a bit of a laugh, so fuck it. See what I mean? He's just about to throw his overhand right here. Left hand down, right hand at his kneecap. The other guy gets on the inside. These guys, the brothers, they haven't got a fucking clue. But the point is what I'm saying is lots of openings. Floyd Mayweather isn't a power puncher, but with this many openings against a guy who really comes in. Like when Logan does come in, he really lunges and commits. I just want Logan to be really defending himself well, because to me, the Floyd fight, it's a win just getting in there, but what you want him to do is see the last bell, say, you know, I went the distance with him, you know, have that as that is a win to me. But with Logan dropping his hands a lot, I worry that he'll walk onto something. He's becoming more ferocious, there's no doubt about it. He's committing more when he comes in, and that was a main problem that I think we had with the KSI fight. Was KSI had all the aggression, but Logan didn't have any really in that fight by comparison. So he's definitely getting better at that. It's about being controlled and clever, and also not leaving yourself vulnerable at the time as well. We're not expecting Logan to be perfect, but what we are expecting is him to have cleaned up a lot of the mistakes from the past. This is not a video that I can really take a lot from, because he's clearly not taking it too seriously, but it does worry me a little. He's really getting stuck in now. He read that beautifully. Uppercut misses, Logan dips out the way, extends the jab nicely, and then he comes in with the right hand. Again, right hand really low. Not accurate punches either, but he manages to get him down here. Look at that look. Logan's like, fresh meat, I'ma fuck this guy up. Logan read this well, actually. So you got the jab, and he slips it again, and then lands the uppercut. See, that nervous energy and that like, oh God. Logan, on the other hand, relaxed as fuck. That's the difference between someone who's done this and someone who hasn't.
Well, I want to give up to Logan, man. Congratulations,
Thanks,
man.
sir.
You did a
Thanks,
good job.
Rob.
But also, I want to give respect to my brothers, man.
Sir.
They did not train at all, man.
Yeah, those are big guys. You can see there, like Logan's what, 6'2", so these motherfuckers are massive. So he beat up 4 big guys, but at the same time, they didn't have a clue what they were doing. It's hard to tell a lot from a video like that, but you know, he's clearly more ferocious. He's committing more. I still think some of his technique could be cleaned up a little bit. Like, you know, what do I know? I'm not his coach, but what I'm saying is like maybe he could twist more into the punches. You know, when you watch Jake, obviously he twists and turns into his punches a lot and really gets the most out of his body. And I still think there's more from Logan, that he can really fully extend his punches. Like, it's more defensively that I worry about him, because he's always dropping his hands. And even when I watch him do pads, heavy bag, it's a habit that's there. And if I can see that, I'm pretty fucking sure Floyd will see that. And look, this ain't about Logan beating Floyd, but I just want him to do as good as he possibly can. And that's something I'd like to see him tighten up. That's the one thing you can say as well. The guy is fit. Like, he's in fighting shape now. Moving on to the UFC, and Charles Oliveira is the new lightweight champion of the world after he beat Michael Chandler last weekend, and it was a fucking hell of a fight. Michael Chandler is a absolute powerhouse, but it's funny because we've just been talking about this with Logan, but he leaves himself wide open. And if you look here at Charles Oliveira, his hand position there, although it's different in MMA, to me is perfect. He keeps his guard high. He really defends himself as good as humanly possible. Michael Chandler, on the other hand, he gets clipped in the middle of this barrage, but luckily his chin holds up at that point. But as we'll see later, eventually he gets exposed for exactly this. He is swinging for the fucking... He's so available to be hit. And with him being a shorter guy, I'm surprised Oliveira didn't go in for a knee straight in the fucking chin. We remember Frankie Edgar getting that done to him. When you have a guy as tall as Oliveira, that's waiting. What I loved about this fight is that both guys were going for the fucking finish from the get-go. But even when they went to the ground, constantly going for submissions, there's not worse than a fucking fight where you're just like, you guys are just content to get to the final bell and you're going to carry each other. These motherfuckers went for the gold. You got Chandler with a guillotine choke, and then next thing you know, Oliveira's on his back trying to get his throat. Like, fantastic work. I mean, this is round 1. Bleeding all over him, man. This is what the UFC is all about. I wasn't even that hyped for this fight because obviously with Khabib retiring, it felt like, is the person who wins really the champ? But fuck me, whoever won this fight was the deserved champion. This was a hell of a fight. 1, 2, 3, to the back of the head even. Oh, he's smashing him. Honestly, I don't know how Oliveira even survived that, let alone went on to win. In the UFC, when someone's getting smashed like that, 99% of the time they get fucking finished. That's the one thing I remember thinking, was how heavy Chandler was breathing after that round. His belly was noticeably inflating and deflating. Like, because he's a shorter, stocky guy, you could really make it out how much he was breathing. He looks like a fucking bodybuilder. His traps and shoulders and arms and chest, like, I'm not saying he's not natural, but I'll just leave it at that.
Round 2 gets underway. Chandler working off of that jab early.
This is what I'm on about, man. You can't fight like that. I think he came in with an inflated confidence because of how the last round ended. So he got a little cocky, hands low. They both kind of go for the same combination. There you go. That was it. And when he comes out of it, his hands are down. And that's why he gets fucking clipped to that degree. Even just having that hand up would have taken some of the edge off of that. And maybe he survives. That's the difference. Jesus. I rate the sportsmanship. I think Charles Oliveira, even though he can't speak English, really made a statement with the fight, but also post-fight. Like, the way he ran out into the crowd, the way he then was such a good sport, and the way his emotions were pouring out. It didn't matter that I didn't know what the fuck he was saying. It was a really warming moment, and that's what you can do when you don't speak English. Like, you can actually get your personality across still by showing that emotion. So maybe he could be a new star in the UFC. You know, we've seen a lot of fucking Brazilian fighters carry the UFC over the years. I just don't know if he's good enough to beat the winner of Dustin versus McGregor. Tony Ferguson fought in the co-main event. Let's have a little look at how he got on. There's just no fear from Dariush about Ferguson's stand-up. Ferguson's been training with Freddie Roach lately, so you'd think there'd be some improvements, but Ferguson's an old dog, and even if you try and teach him new tricks, I'm not sure he's capable at this point because he's so fucking wooden. He's trying, Ferguson, I'll give him that. I mean, he might be an old dog, but he's still a dog, and he still will give everything he's got. But it really reminds me of Donald Cerrone, just shot. He's just being mauled. Even on the ground, you know, Ferguson is a savage, but you know, in this fight, didn't really offer enough of a threat for Dariush to actually be worried about it. He just was happy to sit in guard and plant his fists in his face. There you go. Look at that. Look at that. Nothing to worry about. Just Dariush ground and pound. Just utter punishment. You've got to give Tony Ferguson credit. He's taken a fucking beating, but he isn't giving in. This man was having his fucking leg ripped to bits there. Clear damage getting done. Like, Tony Ferguson doesn't fucking wince and doesn't look like he's in agony. He never shows pain, but he was in bits there, and he didn't quit. It's just sad because the guy was a great fighter. You know, I never quite rated him as highly as other people did. I thought the style where you come forward and you overwhelm people and you take punishment yourself, but you basically are willing to do so to get the win, that has a time span. You know, there's a shelf life for that, and it's expired. And because of people like Justin Gaethje beating the fuck out of Tony Ferguson, the miles he's got on the clock, he can't continue anymore. And what we've got now is a decision to make. If you're the UFC, you go, do we select this guy's fights, keep him around to make entertaining fights like they try to do with Sanchez and Cerrone, or put him out of pasture, just say it's over for you, mate. For the sake of Tony Ferguson's brain, after, you know, some questionable things in the past, I'd say stop him from fighting, but he strikes me as the kind of guy who needs this. Those only have sad endings. Speaking of sad endings, Anderson the Spider Silva has officially retired from MMA, not from fighting. I'm assuming that means he's going to box, which it's not good. It's not what I want to say from him. Like, to me, he's a hero, a legend. You know, if there's a Mount Rushmore of MMA, he's fucking first name on there. Back when UFC was called human cockfighting from the, you know, American press, he came along and showed like slipping punches and silky skills that we'd only previously seen in boxing. And he showed like, there's more to this. You know, he made it look magical. You know, he looked like he was in the fucking Matrix. He captured the imagination of a new generation of fight fans. So to see him hang them up on his social media it's just sad. Like, you know, there should have been one last great fight. And Anderson Silva, you know, and this should have been ages ago, before he kept losing all those fights. They shouldn't have allowed him to be, they used him to build up other fighters. I don't agree with that, you know. The Bisping fight, for example, to me should have been his final fight or something like that. That was a war, that was a great fight. All of those other fighters who were made their name off him, I'm like, no man. But he's obsessed, he loves fighting, it's what he lives for. But I just think he should have done it. He should have took his gloves off in an octagon, screaming fans after a good fight against someone he respects. They respect each other. That's how you go out, not like that. Is he in the Hall of Fame? He fucking should be, let's be honest. Maybe that's the way they can do it, is bring him into the octagon and celebrate him the way he deserves, because the UFC wouldn't be what it is without Anderson Silva. So Tyson Fury versus Anthony Joshua has been confirmed, and for some reason Tyson Fury's working out with Nick Diaz. I love it.
I'm here with my boy Nick, the Bad Man Diaz! What are you saying, Nick? We're working hard. We're coming for all you motherfuckers out there. You're getting smashed to fuck. You better believe it.
Tyson is on his fucking phone, shouting and screaming into the phone. Nick is just like, oh, okay, this is a bit, because Nick's kind of chill. You know, Nick's a bit of he's an MMA legend, isn't he? You know, but it's just a bizarre meeting, this. Like, they're totally different people, totally different styles, different weights. Weird. I do not know how Tyson Fury is able to carry his weight so well. You know that those love handles. He moves amazingly considering what he's carrying. He's a freak of nature. Tyson's actually crazy enough to fight in the UFC, you know. Like, he actually is. I wouldn't put it past him at all. I hope he doesn't, because I just think boxing is his bread and butter. It's what he should always do. And like, muscularity wise, when you get in there with someone like an Ngannou and you clinch up, I think that would be a big fucking challenge for him. But he's actually mad enough to do it. Last but not least, it wouldn't be a True Geordie video without the mention of Conor McGregor. Oh, he loves Conor McGregor. Oh, yes. Just for you lot who really hate the fact that I like Conor McGregor, this is for you. He's number one on the Forbes list, as some of you may know, as the highest paid athlete in the world. Something he predicted, and fuck me, you gotta say credit. Like, the fact that an MMA fighter is number one on Forbes, I never thought this day would ever happen, and he is an anomaly, right? But the thing is, he isn't the highest paid athlete, really. His fighter pay is something in the region of about 20 million. The 180 million comes from the fact that he sold his fucking shares in the whiskey company, and he's a smart guy, and he did a fantastic job in branding and promoting that whiskey, and it's actually a decent whiskey. This has nothing to do with the UFC. The UFC deserve really very little credit for this. The UFC are not paying him, you know, that money. Like Lionel Messi, that 130 million that he's earned, you know, a lot of it will be from his fucking contract. I mean, some brand deals and stuff. But even McGregor doesn't make that much money from brand deals. This is his own company. Like, when you look into his brand deals, it's very, very little, you know, and it's very little from fucking the UFC as well. Compared to Lionel Messi, who's making a fuck ton from Barcelona, but then he's probably, you know, he's working with the biggest brands in the world. You know, credit to McGregor. He did this all on his own, pretty much. I just hope he's taking the Dustin fight seriously, because you know Dustin is. And this guy still seems like he's off on holiday. You know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. Let us know what you thought of everything we've talked about in this video in the comments below. Hit that fucking subscribe button, hit the like button. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.